Yes, question one. Do you accept that currently Archer Lane has no cars on it? Do you accept that children walking to school when there is no cars, when there's suddenly cars are put back and no measures are put in place, do you accept that that makes walking to school or cycling to school or wheeling to school less safe now that cars will be back there where previously they were not?
Thank you, Councillor Dimond. I do appreciate, of course, Lord Mayor, that Councillor Dimond feels really strongly about this issue. Of course, it's a matter where views across Nether Edge are really mixed, and we all have to acknowledge that. And it was right that my committee took a really pragmatic view and wasn't ideologically led about the solution to it. As you know, Councillor Dimond, in my response, it does state, doesn't it, that the information available to date does not suggest that the Nether Edge active neighbourhood project has had a significant impact on personal injury collisions. And I think that categorically answers this was a small-scale intervention. It didn't seem to have the effect that was desired.
Question two, then.
Yeah, so obviously you have decided not to answer the question and not to admit that cars going down a road where there previously wasn't cars is obviously far more dangerous than when that not. But are you also aware, I'm referring to answer to question two, are you aware that there are no temporary crossings on Archer Lane, therefore no measures to make it safer for children, as you have claimed in your answer?
I would refer Councillor Dimond to the answer that's stated in front of him. The reality is that we know that there were no we know from the actual response to the committee that was provided that our local safety programme, of course, does prioritise data-led interventions to road safety issues. And, of course, as a council, we do have really robust processes of dealing with safety improvements upon our roads. And it is important to say that actually that's how we would respond to road safety issues. And we have to do that because we have to make sure, don't we, that these interventions, these engineering interventions, are put in place in areas where the need is the greatest, not necessarily where the voices are the most vocal.
We're on question 15, presumably question 3 or 4.
Yep. I'm just going to give you on question 3. So, how did the committee's decision contribute to road safety in Sheffield? Do you admit that, although I agree with you, we need road safety measures throughout the city, including the wards with the most deprivation, taking out a road safety measure does make it less safe for those children going to school. Do you agree with that statement?
Thank you, Councillor Dimond. I think it's important again to refer to the answer that the Nether Edge Active Neighbourhood Scheme did not have a significant impact on personal injury collisions during its implementation. The data doesn't support what you're saying, I'm afraid.
Remember that other members wanted to ask questions as well, and it's time limited.
Final question, question 4. Do you know that air quality is actually different from emissions and net zero targets?
As we know, the report was quite clear, wasn't it, that Archer Lane didn't have a perceptible change on air quality, and we have to be clear about that.
We're